All right, let's get right into it. For the last couple of years, AI image generation has kind of felt like a magic trick, right? You type something in, you cross your fingers, and you just hope for the best. But what if it wasn't a one-way street? What if it was a conversation? Today, we're going to break down this huge shift that's happening, turning AI image generators from just a tool into a real creative partner.
We have to start here because you know what I'm talking about. We've all seen it. The bizarre six-fingered hands, the text on a sign that's just complete gibberish. That general weirdness that just screams, an AI made this. As Jordan from Gamma puts it, these have been the classic and, let's be honest, often hilarious growing pains of AI images.
But here's the thing, even with all those flaws, that initial explosion of creativity was just undeniable. When these tools first landed, it created this massive wave of excitement. I mean, our social media feeds were just flooded with creations, especially those iconic images in that certain Japanese animation style.
And the scale of this was just staggering. In the first week alone, people generated 700 million AI images. Think about that. The hunger for this technology was absolutely enormous, even when it was nowhere near perfect. It was like a flawed genius, and everybody wanted to see what it could do.
So it's super important to understand what was holding it back. These were the big roadblocks, right? Text was almost always nonsense. Anatomy could be a total nightmare. And asking for anything complex, with multiple steps, you were basically just rolling the dice. You were prompting into a void and hoping for the best.
So how did we get past those hurdles? Well, the answer wasn't some small tweak. It took a fundamental change in how the AI thinks. It had to learn to build an image not all at once, but piece by piece, with some actual intention behind it.
And this new way of thinking is called autoregressive generation. Okay, so here's the key difference. Instead of starting with a big mess of digital noise and cleaning it up, the model actually builds the image in order. You can think of it like how a language model writes a sentence. It's always predicting the very next word. Well, this is doing the same thing, but it's predicting the next token, or the next little patch of pixels in a totally logical sequence.
And this is the real game changer right here, the integration. See, the older diffusion models were totally separate from the language models. But this new generation, it's GPT-4o native. That means the exact same architecture that understands language and logic and reasoning is directly creating the image. It basically inherits the entire brain of GPT-4o.
So what does that actually mean, to have an image generator with the brain of GPT-4o? It means the images finally get you. They have context, they have knowledge, and they have a much, much better grasp of what you're actually trying to do. And all that leads to these 5 incredible new powers. For the first time ever, we're seeing text that's actually readable. The AI has this deep world knowledge baked in. You can edit the tiniest little details. You can connect it to other tools. But the biggest deal of all? You got to look at that last one, multi-turn conversation.
So let's look at this world knowledge thing in action. You can now just ask for a science poster that explains photosynthesis. And because the model is built on GPT-4o, it already knows what photosynthesis is. You don't have to feed it all the details. It has all that context built right in.
And it gets even more powerful. With this multi-tool integration, the model can actually go out and look up real-time information. In one demo, it did a web search for the current weather in New York City and then, boom, instantly generated a poster visualizing that exact data. The AI isn't just a creator anymore, it's a researcher.
Which brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. We are moving away from just shouting single commands at a tool and hoping for the best. We're moving toward having a real, back-and-forth dialogue with a creative partner.
Okay, so let's walk through what this dialogue actually looks like. You start with an image, pretty simple. Then you just talk to it. You say, hey, make the background a darker green, and the AI just does it. Then you follow up, okay, now add a logo to a shirt. It remembers the context of the conversation and applies that new change without messing up the first one. It's a real conversation.
And this is where it gets really wild. That conversation can even pull in live info from the outside world. In another part of the demo, someone asked the model to look up the latest Knicks versus Celtics basketball score and put that into the background of the image. The possibilities here are just unbelievable.
So, why does any of this matter? Well, because this technology is finally moving beyond just being a cool novelty and into being a practical, real-world tool. It's becoming a genuine partner for both professional and personal creative work. And these are just a few ideas to get you started. Marketers can whip up product posters in seconds.
An e-commerce site could let you upload a photo of yourself to try on a dress. You could literally create a fully illustrated children's book or design all the characters for your indie video game. The barrier to making cool visual stuff is just vanishing.
And if you think this is all just hype, listen to this. Gamma, the presentation platform we mentioned earlier, they switched to this new model. The result? A 27% jump in user satisfaction with their image editing. Overnight. That is a massive and immediate real-world impact.
In the end, it all really boils down to this one simple but honestly pretty profound idea, which Bill from OpenAI said best. Design can be thought of as a dialogue. That single phrase, that's the entire shift we're talking about, moving from a one-way command to a two-way conversation.
So we want to leave you with this question to chew on. When the tools we use to create can actually understand us, remember what we said, and talk back to us, what new ideas even become possible? This isn't just a better tool, folks. This is a completely new way to bring our ideas to life.